Good afternoon, my name is Luke Domero and welcome to Tradies Hockey Park in beautiful Sydney South in the Sutherland Shire for today's Sydney Hockey Premier League clash between Sutherland and South East Sydney. It's the final home games for the Premier League boys for season 2022, so we're glad to be able to bring this coverage to you today. We'll be streaming both games. PL2 starts just about 5 or 10 minutes, followed by the PL1 clash, which is a must-win for Sutherland to keep their finals chances alive. As always, we're streaming in 1080p high definition, so feel free to sit back on your lounge and connect your device. Make sure you've got the settings right so that you've got the highest quality. Connect it to your TV and enjoy the action. To take us through the games today, we're pleased to have Craig Turner, our commentator, with us again. We thank him for his ongoing efforts, and I'll throw over to him now for today's action.
Thanks, Luke. Well, welcome to viewers for this afternoon's games between Southeast Sydney and Sutherland. PL2 kicking off in a couple of minutes and followed by PL1. So in the PL2 encounter, Sutherland come into this game in 5th position on the table in 18 points, so they're certainly setting themselves for a tilt at the finals. Top 6 in the Premier League grades participate in finals. Sutherland have had 5 wins, 3 draws and 6 losses for the season so far, and that's good, solid middle of the table positioning for them. Last week a bye for them, so we have to go back to 30th of July for their last game, which was a 2-1 loss to Northwest Strikers. They performed very strongly in that game. So, in fact, they had a good weekend that weekend. They also had a draw with University of New South Wales. So, they'll be looking to continue that good form this afternoon as they make their sort of final 2 weeks of preparation prior to finals. If we just look at the team list for Sutherland, Chris Goodman's back in the team this week after a couple of games away on representative duty. So, he's a valuable addition to the team at right attacking mid. And otherwise the Sutherland team is pretty much at full strength, so they are well positioned for this game this afternoon. Southeast Sydney are into this game in 11th position on the table, just 4 points from the season so far, so they've had a tough season, but all the same they've had some good results along the way, and they'll be looking to try and finish the season in good form. So very early on, the first penalty corner, in fact, to Southeast Sydney. So that was a good penetration into the D. And they get the first set play opportunity for the afternoon. Harry Ben there with the strike for Southeast Sydney. That was neatly saved by Daniel Bryant in goals for Sutherland. Southeast Sydney in good control of the ball there through the midfield. Nathan McDonald just losing it there at the end of it, but they're looking in good touch this afternoon. Ethan Rolling with the ball at the central defender position. Peter Mulcair out on the right. He's played most of his season at central defender, but in the last couple of games has been pushed a little bit wider. See if he can have more impact on Sutherland's attack. Long overhead there from Mulcair. Was picked off by Ollie Cuddy in defence for South East Sydney. Ian McClung with the ball out wide, looking for Hugh Bollard. Bollard has got the ball, just managed to keep it in there. It's good evasion by him. And ball into the centre. Oliver Turner's picked up the rebound, and the goalkeeper has somehow kept that one out. So Robert Frew in goals there. Mason Neal had him on all sorts of pressure, but somehow managed to keep it out. Isaac Olsen with that ball forward, finds Sharp, and then Oliver Turner with a shot on goal. Okay, with the ball now. Back to Rolling. Out to Bollard on the left. McClung to take the free hit, 5 yards outside the D. He's carried it forward, straight into the D. Looking for a ball onto the foot and has found that. Put the ball onto Nathan McDonald's foot, and first penalty corner for Sutherland for the afternoon. So almost 5 minutes into this game. Still 0-0 at this stage. Brendan Sharp, the injector. Blake Sharp with the drag flick, but that was blocked by the runner. Sam Whitfield blocked that for South East Sydney. Sutherland restart from the 25. Sharp to Oliver Turner. Get the ball in the D. Just had a free hit outside. Finds McClung out wide. Through to Chris Goodman. That's good evasion by him. He just caught Brendan Sharp. Not ready for that pass. That ball gone through is actually almost picked up on the back line, but Tim Eggers almost found that one. So Sutherland's back three, passing the ball across the field, trying to find and wait for some gaps to open up through the centre. So they're looking for movement from their players further up the field. Blake Sharp's found that one through to McClung, out to Olsen on the left. Excellent pass through to Mason Neal, who's trapped well. Matt Thompson, shot on goal and saved. That was a good attacking, strong attacking move by Sutherland. Just didn't have enough on the shot to trouble the goalkeeper. Excellent positioning by Mason Neal right up high. That's what really created the opening for Sutherland there. Alkea into McClung. It was well blocked by South East Sydney. Turner with the ball there. He was looking further up the field, bit ambitious, and that was cut off. So South East Sydney carrying the ball through the centre. Good tackle there from Oliver Turner. Got the ball out wide to Brendan Sharp. Excellent pass. Sharp now trying to find. He tried to play the ball through the feet of the South East Sydney defender, but he was awake to that, and with a flat stick tackle easily picked that ball off. Okay, restarting from the right sideline. Looking for a lead from his midfield. He's gone wide to Blake Sharp. Ethan rolling with the ball now in the midfield. Another ambitious overhead attempted and didn't come off for him. Fell well short of where he would want it. Isaac Olsen's picked that ball up, looking forward to Mason Neal, who again has got himself well positioned on the back line, and with a good pass across the circle to the unmarked Brendan Sharp. Sutherland have their first goal on the board. So that goal to Brendan Sharp, simple put away after Mason Neal made excellent position on the back line. So first goal on the board for Sutherland. Blake Sharp into Ethan Rowling. Needs to transfer this ball quickly, which he's done, straight through to Chris Goodman. And good shot by Chris Goodman. And Isaac Olsen has worked hard there and picked up the penalty corner. So outcome. But good penetration there from Chris Goodman after that. Terrific pass from the back by Ethan Rowling. So another penalty corner. Malcare and Blake Sharp at the top of the D are likely to be the strikers. Brendan Sharp with the injection from the back line. Good trap. Peter Malcare with a shot. Saved by Robert Frew quite easily. So Sutherland have been pushed right back to their circle for the restart. They plung out wide this time. Looking for Goodman, couldn't reach that ball. Sam Whitfield for South East Sydney. To Will Epson. Patrick Morrison and out wide. Isaac Olsen does the intercept though, carries that ball forward very strongly, looking for the crossfield pass, but the umpires adjudged he's got that with the back of his stick. Umpires really cracking down on perceptions of the ball being hit with the back of the stick. That's a lifted ball into Will Thompson. Matt Thompson. So free hit to Sutherland. Isaac Olsen will take that. Looking for Oliver Turner, but was flat in his back, slipped over, so missed that. Brendan Sharp with that receive. He'd seen Mason Neal out wide. Unfortunately, that's where he played the ball, and Mason Neal had accelerated in towards the spot, so well wide of Mason Neal. South East Sydney trying to work the ball out of their defence. They've kept possession down the sideline. Two up high for South East Sydney. They had more time there than they thought. It really was a 2-on-1 against the goalkeeper. Just needed a little bit more patience, and they might have had a really good shot at goal. But in the end, Sutherland come away. Ewan Bollard now with the ball, and he was, I think, chopped is the best way of describing it. His stick was chopped by the South East Sydney defender, and the umpire awarded another penalty corner to Sutherland. Just as a reminder, the game prior to this one, Sutherland, between the same two clubs, Sutherland defeated South East Sydney 5-1 in third grade. So good result for Sutherland third grade. They entered the round third on the table, so it was an important win for them to keep their position on the table. Oliver Turner with the injection this time. Mason Neal at the top. Laid off to Peter Mulcair. Didn't have much in that shot as Mulcair shakes his head. It was a real miss hit. So 3 penalty corners for Sutherland without results so far. They've had some issues with their penalty corners. And hopefully we're not going to see a repeat of that throughout the afternoon. They need to do better with penalty corner conversions. It's a good 1-2 there between Oliver Turner and Chris Goodman. However, that's come undone and South East Sydney worked the ball away. Daniel Morrison in the centre there, gets past Oliver Turner and puts the ball through to Harry Ben. Sorry, that was Tom Eggers up high for South East Sydney. Had a good shot there, well struck. Now the ball's up the other end with Mason Neal, looking for Matt Thompson. He's held the ball up and has his own shot and puts that in the top corner of the goal. So that was a good receive by Mason Neal up high on the counter-attack. And initially he was looking for the pass, but in the end held on to the ball, made space for himself, and an excellent shot high into the left corner of the goal. So 2-0 to Sutherland. Just on 2.5 minutes of this first quarter remaining. So Ollie Cutty on the ball now for South East Sydney, into Nathan McDonald. Good elimination skills by him. It's the ball through to Tom Egbers, but he couldn't control. Ball bounced up off his stick and a free hit to Sutherland. So Mulcair out wide, looks for Matt Thompson, finds him. Clung into Thompson. Back through Ethan Rolling. Needs a quicker pass there from centre defender. That was well received by Hugh Bollard. Almost found Mason Neal with that touch on. Good intercept there from McClung. Back to Bollard, and he sends the ball to the open side through Ethan Rolling and then Mulcair. Olsen with the ball through to Bollard. Ball just bobbled there. Unfortunately, he's got it back again. McClung now. Carries the ball high. That ball off the foot of the South East Sydney defender. Just outside the circle according to the umpire. So Bollard lays it back to Ethan Rolling, into Oliver Turner. Through to Bollard. Umpire found a free hit and he said that was on the far side of the D, not this side. So anyway, the siren's going to beat both teams, and at the end of the first quarter, Sutherland have the lead 2-0, courtesy of goals to Brendan Sharp and Mason Neal. So solid first quarter from Sutherland, and a good start for the game by them. So we'll be back in about a minute with the start of the second quarter.
I did it like 4 weeks in a row. I didn't do last week, but I'm good to go. Where's Mummy?
We didn't get the chance to share the PL2 SESH team list with you earlier, so we just put it up on screen for all those viewers so you can follow your hockey stars in this game. Hope you're enjoying at home. If you are watching along, please let us know. Put some comments in the chat. Be a part of the action.
So teams back on the field for the start of the second quarter. Sutherland leading 2-0. Mason Neal with the hit off. Goodman with the ball out wide. He's got plenty of space in front of him. The question is, can he get the ball onto a blue stick? Under pressure now. Nathan McDonald in the end took that ball off him, so good defence there by South East Sydney. They got numbers around the ball carrier. That's good quick passing from Sutherland. That's better. They need more of that. Excellent ball through from Mulcair there. Just a final touch on by Patrick Morrison prevented the ball landing on Mason Neal's stick. But that quick passing will move the ball very effectively across the ground. Good pass again by Ethan Rowling there. Goodman to Brendan Sharp, back to Goodman, and Goodman got the ball between Robert Frew's pads. So opening goal for the second quarter to Chris Goodman. It's a good 1-2 from between Goodman and Chris Goodman and Brendan Sharp. Created that opportunity. This is looking better from Sutherland. The passing's a bit crisper at the start of this second quarter. A little bit more urgency in making the pass. Creates more time and space for the receiver. Goodman there back to Mulcair. He'll know that he's got to get the ball into space from here. Finds McClung in the centre. And out to Blake Sharp on the left with plenty of space in front of him. Ball through there, just evaded Isaac Olsen and also Mason Neal on the back line. So Southeast Sydney just not maintaining the ball out there, and Sutherland have quickly counter-attacked there through Oliver Turner in the centre. Mulcair and Goodman again running forward under plenty of pressure there, and Southeast Sydney with Tim Knott a bit aggressive with his tackle and has been sent to the bench by the umpire. So Mulcair out to Goodman again. Finds Brendan Sharp. So that pass was to a spot where Brendan Sharp thought there should be a striker. Unfortunately, no one there. So Sutherland have been given a lot of time and space here. Southeast Sydney withdrawing to their 25 effectively. That ball through from Goodman to Brendan Sharp. He had the ball on the back line, but it was picked off. Well, the umpires decided that was Sutherland's way, and Oliver Turner quickly took it. Almost found his way into the D. Mulcair across to Ethan Rolling. Ball through to Bollard. He's received the ball, but under pressure, so back to Rolling, and then across to Mulcair again. So Southeast Sydney are holding the press at the 25, giving Sutherland time on the ball outside the 25 to set up their passes. That ball from Blake Sharp across the D, just not picked up by his brother Brendan Sharp. Sutherland counter-attack again. Brendan Sharp again missing that ball. Good tackle there by Isaac Olsen, but the umpire determined he'd a bit of a stick check involved. So free hit to Southeast Sydney, who now draw breath. Will Epson receiving that ball in the middle. Pushed it wide. Back to Patrick Morrison. Harry Ben just lost out with that ball, and Mulcair's gone forward. Had Mason Neal in front of him, but just couldn't make the connection with the ball. Oliver Turner controlled that ball under pressure pretty well. Isaac Olsen now. Well, the umpires determined that penalty was just outside the D. So Sutherland pushing forward here. Turner again with the ball under pressure. Just let it roll off his stick. So Sydney East bring it away. Will Epson with the ball. Tim not putting pressure on, but Sutherland come on back again. So Sutherland effectively being given free rein with the ball outside Southeast Sydney's 25. And then Southeast Sydney trying to take the ball off Sutherland as they come forward. Tim Knott has pushed way upfield into Sutherland's 25, so he's hoping for a very long ball through. Good position by him, but Harry Ben just didn't receive that ball, wasn't able to successfully receive that ball coming forward. So Mulcair restarts, back to Rolling in the centre. Ethan Rolling looking straight up the field. Those passes are good when they come off, but that one didn't find a blue stick, and immediately Sutherland back under pressure. The long ball through to Harry Ben was just touched by Mulcair enough to ensure it didn't find its mark. Nathan McDonald with that shot from the top of the D, but under too much pressure to really get it directed past Daniel Bryant. So Sutherland restarting. Mulcair, Ethan rolling. Looks for Oliver Turner. Well received out wide and to Chris Goodman. That was a good pick up and pass by Oliver Turner. Mason Neal now with the ball, pushing forward. Needs to keep control of this, which he will. His pass was picked off by McDonald though. Mason rolling coming forward. Unfortunately his tackle ended up with the ball in Mason Neal's foot. And another long ball through, that time from Daniel Morrison trying to pick up Harry Ben. There's a bit of danger in that for Sutherland. They need to keep track of these high running forwards. That's an excellent receive and turn by Matt Thompson. He'll look for Mason Neal. And that ball just picked off in the last line. Just needed a little bit more deception on it. Another long ball through, so South East Sydney making their intentions clear. They'll try and dispossess Sutherland up high and then send the ball long and hope to find a striker one-on-one with the goalkeeper. They've gone desperately close on a couple of occasions with that strategy. And Sutherland have got to be careful not to overcommit in attack. Ball down the sideline by Mulcair, finds Goodman running forward. He'll find Brendan Sharp up high. And his ball back in towards Oliver Turner was picked up by Nathan McDonald, who showed no indication of sending that ball anywhere other than over the back line. So the umpire determined that was deliberately over the back line and a penalty corner to Sutherland. A couple of the South East Sydney defenders not looking entirely happy, but I think it was a fairly obvious decision for the umpire to make. So Brendan Sharp back on the injection duties. Mason Neal at the top, straight to him. Brendan Sharp lay off to Mulcair. Just a little bit slow at the top, and Ollie Cuddy was able to easily intercept Mulcair's shot. So South East Sydney now well aware of the layoff to the left. I know that's an option Sutherland go for. Sutherland needs something different. Maybe back to the direct shot. And Blake Sharp, at time he's played it in, looking for Brendan Sharp coming in from the injector position. Just missed him. South East Sydney come forward, but Sutherland intercept and come out of the defence. So now they've got acres of space in front of them as South East Sydney work their way upfield. Matt Thompson in possession. Looks back, but his pass towards Mulcair was intercepted. So Morrison on the ball. Now Mulcair with the overhead. Well, that one's cut out. He was looking for Brendan Sharp higher up, but he needed another 15 yards on that overhead to get through. In the end, Ollie Cuddy took control. Jacob through with the ball, looking for a pass forward. All he could do is find Ian McClung and Brendan Sharp looking for the deflection in. Now Ian McClung has made the shot, and although initially it looked like it might have been saved, it's snuck into the corner of the goal. And so another second goal of the quarter, this time to Ian McClung, and Sutherland lead 4-0 with just on 4.5 minutes of this second quarter remaining. Mason Neal drops that ball wide to Chris Goodman. However, again, he got himself surrounded by two South East Sydney defenders and they were able to pick him off. That's the story of playing defence these days. You defend in numbers. It's not about individual one-on-one. It's about getting numbers around the ball. And South East Sydney did that effectively there on Chris Goodman. Blake Sharp brings the ball in again. Ethan Rolling in the centre, finds Oliver Turner leading across the field. Well, Nathan McDonald has dispossessed him. A few changes of possession there, and I think another difficult tackle from South East Sydney. The umpire's trying to send someone off. Player's not quite sure who he's pointing at. I think really they knew, but anyway. So Daniel Morrison in the end is off for a couple of minutes. Sam Whitfield with the ball there. Sorry, that was Will Epson. Ethan Rowling finds McClung. Out to Blake Sharp and back into McClung, so he'll look forward from the centre. South East Sydney allowing Sutherland really the time and space to make these passes in there outside their 25. McDonald coming forward. He's found a yellow card there for Ethan Rowling. Umpire determined that he's deliberately blocked McDonald coming forward. So both teams down to 10 players now. Sutherland will be out without Rowling for 5 minutes, I think. It's a minimum of 5 minutes as a yellow card.
Well done, buddy. Do it again.
So Sutherland turned that pass out of defence over. Ewan Bollard with the ball into the centre. Jacob Frew able to take care of that bobbling pass from Bollard. Mason Neal now trying to carry the ball forward. Beat two defenders there and found himself in a bit of space, so took the opportunity for a shot, but it's just gone wide of the left post. So but the umpire determined that was off a South East Sydney defender, so Sutherland have the restart from the 25. 30 seconds to go in this quarter. Sutherland will be trying to engineer at least one more entry into the D. South East Sydney happy to see the ball at the other end of the field. Blake Sharp through to Peter Mulcair. He'll go long. Got his overhead through there, but just not controlled by Oliver Turner. So the end of the first half, and Sutherland have the lead 4-0. Goals in the first quarter to Brendan Sharp and Mason Neal, and in the second quarter to Chris Goodman and Ian McClung. So a good solid first half from Sutherland, and they'll go into the break leading 4-0 and having a chat about how they can improve their play for the second half. South East Sydney, on the other hand, well, a lot have seen this story before during the season, and they'll be keen to make sure that this scoreline doesn't blow out in the second half. So they've had opportunities on the counter-attack. They'll continue to look for that long pass out of defence and see if they can jag a goal or two. but they really need to tighten up in their defence in the midfield to stop Sutherland creating more circle penetrations. So we'll be back in about 3 or 4 minutes with the start of the second half. So teams are back on the field and ready to go for the second half. Sutherland leading 4-0. So Sydney East now running left to right. Did some good things in the first half and particularly had some opportunities on the counter-attack with a long ball forward out of defence. Just need to capitalise on those opportunities when they come, but really what they need to do most of is to put a little bit more pressure on the Sutherland midfield between the 225s. Just allowing Sutherland too much uncontested time on the ball. Morgan Valesky carried that ball forward for South East Sydney. Sutherland were able to pick him off before he could get in the D. McClung in the centre there. Mulcair again without any pressure, so South East Sydney holding a half field press this time. Better to see the pressure on Sutherland as they come into the South East Sydney half rather than holding right back to the 25. Valesky with the ball out wide. Just didn't control that on his stick, but was able to quickly recover and put enough pressure on McClung to force the error there. So McDonald with the ball now. Finds Valesky out wide. McClung picked it up. Looking for Turner in the centre. This is a good forward play from South East Sydney. Jason Ells in the end, J&. Ells in the end had the ball there and just got it onto Sutherland defender's foot. So a penalty corner to South East Sydney and their first of this quarter and their second for the game.
Bob, when you go on, push Donny off, up, and then bring on 8.
So South East Sydney ready for this corner. Harry Ben with the strike again, that time just wide of the left post, so Sutherland's defence survives. So we've got Grant Hollyman, the Sutherland coach, on the line here. Hello, Grant.
Great to see you. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks. How are you? Having a good afternoon?
I'm going good. I'm having a good afternoon, thank you.
So
Yes.
what was your summary to the team for the first half?
Summary for the team was that we did our basics very well, right? I don't care about the score. What we did was we did our circle penetrations well, and we trapped. You know, I don't remember. I remember one really, really simple missed trap in our top 25. So I was really happy with our basics. You know, the score is the score, but you know what they did was very well, and they dominated. And it wasn't just goals that came from luck. There was goals that were fairly well built up.
Yes, there was a lot of midfield, particularly midfield possession for Sutherland, and you're right that getting the basics right serves you not only well in this game but also in the games ahead.
Yeah, they're the big guns, you know, CT. But you know, we're not taking South East Sydney lightly at all. Like they've had 3 shots, they've had 2 one-on-ones with Daniel. So you know that's something we've got to work on. But you know, we had 10 circle penetrations in that second quarter, and we scored 2 goals. It's not horrible. It's not great, but it's not horrible, and I'm happy with that.
Yep. So what have you asked the team to focus on in this second half?
Genuinely no changes, and please don't make me grumpy at three-quarter time. That was really the message.
I'm sure the team will look forward to a pleasant afternoon then. They'll be doing their best not to have a grumpy coach at third or fourth quarter.
Because the challenge here, right, is just to ice it, isn't it? Right? We genuinely have to ice this game. And I don't care about the outcome. I don't care about how many goals we score. We just can't make traps and we have to move the ball. And so far in this, like we're 5 minutes in this quarter, and, you know, they've had one attacking rate, but we have not lost the ball. Possession's huge. Look at that pass. I mean, that's just lovely. I mean, that's good hockey. So, and then he misses the trap.
Yes, very good opportunity there for Hugh and Bollard in front of goal. Just the final trap eluded him. Thanks very much, Grant.
All right, CT. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
See ya.
So Matt Thompson there into Oliver Turner. Looking for Bollard. Back to Oliver Turner. And South East Sydney just got their stick in the way there. But Sutherland still have the ball in attack. Turner through to Mulcair. Back to Blake Sharp. So South East Sydney are back in there, all players back in their 25. They're trying to make it as difficult as possible for Sutherland to penetrate the D. Harry Ben with the ball out wide. He needs to be able to retain possession here for South East Sydney. It'll be his goal. He's surrounded. Mulcair, however, has taken it off him. Ball through to Isaac Olsen. And Oliver Turner wins the free hit there, just outside the 25. So this is the issue for Southeast Sydney, how they can retain possession once they do win the ball off the Sutherland attack. Okay, now trying to put that ball straight back in the D. Couldn't get it past McDonald. Mason Neal took it off him, and Morrison. So Matt Thompson with the reverse side hit. Definitely 100% back of the stick on that one. The ball ballooning up from his reverse stick. And really hit into the turf from the back of his stick. Isaac Olsen in the centre again. That's a good pass through there, looking for Goodman, and Mason Neal coming across from the opposite direction. Ball fell between the two of them and over the back line. It's a couple of good receives in space from Isaac Olsen in the last few minutes, just outside the 25. So he's trying to create another avenue into the D for Sutherland's attack. Ollie Cuddy with the ball for Southeast Sydney. Looks high. Finds Tim Knott. McDonald on the ball. Oliver Turner picks him off. That's good control by Turner and out wide to Goodman. Isaac Olsen needed to get his stick on that ball, so it's back with Southeast Sydney. Morrison on the ball. Out wide to Knott. He was looking high for Harry Ben, but Ethan Rolling was just able to stretch far enough to keep the ball away from him. Now Sutherland try and work it out of defence. Brendan Sharp there, good receive back to Blake Sharp. McClung starting to lift his work rate in this quarter. Didn't see so much of him in the first half. So Southeast Sydney just holding back here. Trying to deny the back three Sutherland defenders a passing option forward. And almost forced the error there. Tom Egber's doing some work in the centre, but ball back with Olsen. Sam Whitfield with that ball out wide. Tim Knott carrying it forward and wins the penalty. Ollie Cuddy takes the free hit from just outside the 25. Finds Whitfield in the centre. Long ball forward. Looking for Harry Ben, but McClung with some decent amount of running picked the ball off. Tim Knott intercepting that ball forward from Blake Sharp, and Sutherland defence clean up there. That ball onto the foot of Jalen Ells, so free hit to Sutherland. Care on the ball. Haven't got anyone within 25 yards of him. Good overhead from him that time. Finds Isaac Olsen up high. He was looking for Chris Goodman just inside the D, but Goodman couldn't trap that one. Oliver Turner with the ball on the 25, out to Goodman, but that was a bouncing ball out wide of him onto his reverse stick, and Goodman couldn't trap that one. There's a long ball through from Southeast Sydney. Gets the ball up the other end of the field. And we're looking for Harry Ben up high, but he couldn't reach that. So Mulcair comes forward again through Ian McClung. And works the ball around McDonald. Through Olsen and out to Goodman. Ollie Cuddy with the ball for Southeast Sydney. It's a ring of Sutherland strikers in front of him. Got the free hit, but he hasn't got too many obvious passing options there. Nevertheless, he finds J&Ls, but he didn't trap well, and Blake Sharp took the ball off him as it bounced off his stick. Ollie Cuddy recovering there. So good weight of possession here with Sutherland, giving them plenty of time on the ball. Well, Southeast Sydney will no doubt be feeling the effects of all the running they're doing with Sutherland in possession. So Sutherland should find more gaps opening up through the latter stages of this quarter and into the fourth. Southeast Sydney can't do all that running without some consequences. Isaac Olsen almost intercepted that ball, but it just bounced up off his stick onto his legs. Gillespie down the right with the ball for Southeast Sydney. Good pass through there, looking for Harry Ben. Ethan Rowling was able to stretch out and intercept. Good touch on there by Bollard. Brendan Sharp also passed it on, but Tim Knott showed good strength there in defence to keep that one out for Southeast Sydney. Morrison, good deception in that pass by him through to Knott. He'll look for Harry Ben up high, and the ball has got through to him, so just outside the D. He'll need to look for an outcome here. He's got Ethan Rowling in front of him, Blake Sharp, plenty of Sutherland feet. He's got to find one of them, and he found Blake Sharp's. So penalty corner to Southeast Sydney. Their second of this quarter with just 3 minutes to go. So another second decent scoring opportunity for Southeast Sydney. Let's see what they can do at the top of the D this time. Daniel Morrison injecting. Nathan McDonald with the trap at the top, and Harry Ben lining up for the drag flick. It's a good strike, good drag flick, but it was that time just wide of the goalkeeper's right post. So the last two penalty corners have basically gone wide of the uprights and created no need for a save from the Sutherland defence. So really the first principle of the penalty corners is to get the shot between the posts and at least require the Sutherland defence to make a save. Good overhead forward there. J&L's up high into Morrison. So free hit to Daniel Morrison. Ball in from Morrison, was looking to Harry Ben on target, but Mulcair managed to intercept and deflect the ball over the back line. Morrison again at the top of the 25. Carries the ball forward into the D. Mistrapped by Turner but cleaned up by Sharp at the back. Sorry, that was Ethan Rowling who missed that trap. So Morrison back at the 25. Found Will Epson with a deflection into the D, but he really needed to control that ball. And another blind pass has just resulted in a turnover to Sutherland. Chris Goodman carrying the ball forward under pressure from 3. Got the free hit. Taking that quickly through to Isaac Olsen. And he's drilled the ball into the D. And forced a save from Robert Frew, but the ball just got through his pads and trickled over the back line. So a 5th goal to Sutherland right at the conclusion of the 3rd quarter. That goal to Isaac Olsen. So at the end of the 3rd quarter, Sutherland lead 5-0. Perhaps a better quarter for South East Sydney from a scoreboard perspective, just conceding the 1 goal that quarter. But it was a continuation of the first half pattern for Sutherland. Good ball possession and repeated entries to the D. So Sutherland, I think you'd have to say, cruising quite comfortably in this game so far. 5-0, they have a lead. They'll be looking to keep a clean sheet in defence in the final quarter and add to that score. We'll be back in just on a minute with the 4th and final quarter of this game.
If you're sitting on the lounge at home watching the action, make sure you put some comments on the chat. We'd love to hear from you. Feel free to shout out some support to your team or your favourite player. Get involved in the action today. 1 quarter left here. Southern lead 5 goals to 0. And then we have the main game for the day, PL1 at 3:30. So if you have the link, feel free to share it with your friends, relatives, family, postmen, dog walkers, I was going to say. Share it around. We'll go back to Craig for the final quarter.
So we're back with the final quarter. Sutherland leading 5-0. Good possession there by Oliver Turner in the centre. Sets Sutherland up for another attack. Chris Goodman coming through. Finds Isaac Mason-Neal. Inexplicably, Mason couldn't control that ball on the back line. So opportunity lost there from a quick counter-attack. South East Sydney come forward. Ball out wide to Valesky. He, in the end, could not get past the combined efforts of Isaac Olsen and Blake Sharp. Sam Whitfield with the ball out wide. J&L's now carrying it forward. Morrison trying to find... Sorry, that was not trying to find... Pass through. Good intercept there by Nathan McDonald, and he quickly carries forward. But Blake Sharp read his pass, who in turn passes through Oliver Turner, and a great ball forward there to Chris Goodman in acres of space. Goodman looking for the pass in. In the end, that was not a good pass into the D. Just resulted in a turnover. So we're looking good there on that counter-attack into the D. Another turnover there off Tom Egbers. Sutherland go forward. Find Brendan Sharp out wide, but he just didn't move quite energetically enough to that ball, and it went off the edge of his stick and over the back line. South East Sydney trying to work the ball across the field into open space. Done that well, and Tim Knott, a bit of effort there to get onto that. Found the ball through Jalen Ells. And Will Epson coming forward. Unfortunately, he lost out to Chris Goodman, but that was a good counter-attack there by South East Sydney. 4 or 5 passes there going forward. Gone wide to Valesky now. Ewan Bollard defending valiantly, and that was a good back tackling effort by Bollard. What's the turnover? Mulcair out wide to Rolling. Looks forward infield to Oliver Turner, but he couldn't trap on his back stick. And South East Sydney come forward again. It's those unforced errors that are costly. Harry Ben had that ball in the back of the D, but Mulcair was equal to the challenge. Nathan McDonald restarts from the 25. There was a Ollie Cuddy pass through the top of the D there, almost embarrassed Sutherland's defence. In the end, harmlessly over the back line. Blake Sharp coming forward, finds Mason Neal. Didn't trap that ball dead on his stick, so just 6 inches off was enough for the South East Sydney defender to get in. That's a good turnover by Rolling, but Henry Ben fights back. Good work by Isaac Olsen. It was good contest for the ball here from both teams. Good pass out wide from Mason Neal to Chris Goodman. He drops it back to Neal, into Oliver Turner in the centre, out again to Goodman. So let them keep moving the ball here. They'll eventually get the ball into space. Okay, now with the ball, finds Turner and through to Olsen. It was a good turn there by Olsen, and played the ball into space in the D, but he just couldn't get onto it quickly enough before the South East Sydney defence shut him down. So back and start again, this time through McClung. He's dropped back and Rolling has gone off for a rest. Mulcair now out wide on the left. Looks forward to Mason Neal. Lovely pass forward from Mulcair. Finds Mason Neal 2 or 3 yards in front of the goalkeeper, and his first time deflection left Robert Frew with no chance of defending. So a first goal of the final quarter to Mason Neal. And Sutherland now up 6-0. Good vision by Mulcair there to find Mason Neal high in space, and even better the execution. Now South East Sydney with the opportunity at the other end. That initial strike from initial shot at goal was saved by Daniel Bryant, but almost fell to Tom Egbers. So Sutherland almost conceding their clean sheet for the day there. Certainly a very good scoring opportunity for South East Sydney, but just couldn't make the final connection. Isaac Olsen trying to work forward there, just threw the ball too far to get the obstruction from the umpire. Morrison with the ball forward, looking for Harry Ben, almost trying to repeat the play of Mulcair earlier, but the angles weren't right, and Harry Ben was unable to trap. Daniel Morrison again looking forward with a strike from outside the D. Almost had Will Epson, but he couldn't get his stick on the ball, so Sutherland come away. Brendan Sharp with the ball now, finds McClung infield. He'll go wide to Turner and out wide again to Goodman. Goodman that time had the ball bounce off his stick but had enough space to retain. Another deflection that time from Mason Neal. He was looking for Brendan Sharp, didn't get there, but the ball was lifted dangerously by the defence in the D, so a penalty corner to Sutherland. So first of this quarter, and for quite some time, in fact. So Sutherland haven't had much luck or success from their penalty corners today. Just don't seem to have got themselves organised from the top. Maybe Blake Sharp will blast this one in. And in fact, he has done exactly that. A drag flick from the top in off the goalkeeper's right post, left the defence with no chance. So very good drag flick from Blake Sharp, and another goal to Sutherland. $7-0 to Sutherland. Morrison with the ball, challenged by Hugh Bollard, easily evades him. Bollard needs to be better than that, can't afford to run through on those tackles. McClung, good tackle on McDonald by him, quick. Ball forward to Mason Neal. He's got Thompson in front but goes back to McClung, out wide to Bollard and bumped off the ball. The umpire's determined that was a deliberate bump and has accordingly blown the first penalty stroke of the game. Certainly prevented Bollard from having his shot. So Mason Neal brings the ball up to the spot. And his opportunity for a third goal for the day. Clinically executed by Mason Neal. He's very proficient from the penalty spot, so with that shot to the goalkeeper's bottom right, goalkeeper didn't move. Sutherland now leading 8-0. And 3 goals for Mason Neal so far, and just under 6 minutes remaining. Morrison carrying the ball forward there, got it into Harry Ben, and he was able to shoot a goal, but again, the ball wide of the posts, not forcing a save from Daniel Bryant. Ethan Rolling back on now. Clung there, back to Ethan Rolling. He's protecting the ball and finds Blake Sharp out to his right. Up to Goodman. He's got Jalen Ells in front of him. but keeps control of the ball. Finds McClung back in the centre and out wide to Aidan Thompson. Bit lucky there to bounce the ball past Tim Knott. Excellent pass from Olsen there through to Mason Neal. Looking for Thompson on the far post. Excellent pass from Neal. Thompson controls the ball on the right post and pops it in the goal for his first score of the game. So Sutherland really racking up the goals in this final quarter. That's 4 for the quarter and a lead of 9-0. Will Epson out wide. Gillespie now with the ball on the right. Clumsy tackle there from Bollard. So Gillespie gets the free, carries the ball forward quickly. Will Epson, his target, but he couldn't control the ball under pressure from McClung. He finds Chris Goodman, who in turn is dispossessed. Tom Egbers dispossessed him. So South East Sydney had the free hit, but unfortunately it's gone over the sideline from Jalen Els. So Sutherland back for counter-attack. That long ball forward from Rolling was not picked up by Matt Thompson. So South East Sydney bring the ball back in. So 3.5 minutes remaining. 9-0 for Sutherland. That's a good scoreboard outcome for Sutherland. South East Sydney still trying to carry the ball forward. Dispossessed by Sutherland there. Oliver Turner with the ball. Finds Hugh and Bollard out wide, who couldn't trap that ball. And turns it over to South East Sydney. Brendan Sharp putting pressure up there. Forces a wayward pass by Ollie Cuddy out wide to the left. So Chris Goodman now with the ball into Ian McClung. Under pressure from Nathan McDonald. And South East Sydney have managed to turn over there. That's a good result and a reward for McDonald's pressure on McClung. Jalen Els carrying the ball forward. He's got lots of Sutherland players in front of him. He's gone past 3 of them and carrying the ball forward was Tom Egbers, but Daniel Bryant blocked him down. Really, sorry, that was Tim Knott. Really Knott needed a little bit more support, either from Jalen Els or someone else, if he was going to make something of that penetration. Good intercept there by Matt Thompson, turnover. And he's found Brendan Sharp going forward. Isaac Olsen streaming up. Matt Thompson out wide with the ball now. He'll put that ball. Well, no niceties there. Just blasted the ball from the top of the circle. So excellent shot by Matt Thompson. That ball went straight through or under the kicker of Jacob Frew. And Sutherland now have 10 on the board with just over a minute to go.
Where's your hockey stick? Do you want to go on for a little bit?
5 goals for Sutherland in this quarter. That running they did in the first 3 quarters has really paid off in the fourth. Tim Knott carrying the ball forward now for South East Sydney. And in trying to put pressure on him, Aidan Thompson has conceded a penalty corner. So penalty corner to South East Sydney there first for this quarter. And this, with just under 40 seconds remaining, will be their final opportunity to put a goal on the board for the game. And they're taking their time about it, trying to make sure this is the final play of the game. They don't want to see Sutherland back up the other end. So all of South East Sydney, bar the goalkeeper, heading towards Sutherland's 25. Looks like Nathan McDonald on the strike. Tom Egber's trapping. And McDonald has hit that and it's bobbled through and wide of the right post. So no Sutherland stick or pad on it, just harmlessly over the back line. And that is the end of the game with Sutherland winning 10-0. Very comfortable victory in the end. 3 goals to Mason Neal. Pretty good return from Mason Neal at centre striker. Matt Thompson chipped in with 2 in the final quarter. Other goals by Brendan Sharp, Chris Goodman, Ian McClung and Isaac Olsen. So 10-0 to Sutherland. Excellent scoreboard result for them, and I think Coach Grant Hollyman will be pleased with that outcome. So that's it for the PL2 game. Sutherland and South East Sydney will be taking the field in a few moments for the PL1 encounter. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the PL1 game.
Thanks, Craig. Sutherland win PL2 today, 10 goals to 0 over Sydney East. Or South East, sorry. We'll be back in a second for the main game, PL1. So go grab a drink, and we'll see you again in 5 minutes.
game today, PL1, Sutherland versus Southeast Sydney. We'd also like to say a big happy birthday to someone number 1 4, that's number 14. Coming up today, Harry Roberts. Happy birthday, Harry. Happy birthday, Harry. Don't forget the live stream link is available on the Sutherland Hockey Club Facebook page. If you want to see an instant replay of the action, there's about a 20-second delay, so you get your phone in your hand, you can have a look straight afterwards. Enjoy the game.
So welcome to viewers for our PL1 game for this afternoon. Sutherland versus Southeast Sydney. Excellent conditions here at Sylvania for this final home game for Sutherland, first grade for the season. Sutherland come into this game in 7th position on the table with mathematical prospects of making the semi-finals, so a lot of things have to go right for them to make the semi-finals, but the first thing they have to do is win this game today. They're obviously dependent on other results. At the moment in 7th position, they're 4 points behind Glebe, who are in 6th, and 5 points off Manly in 5th position, so they're dependent on other teams' results to make it through, but they'll be looking for a big result today. They come in with 5 wins, 2 draws and 7 losses. A bye last week, and their last game on 30th of July, very narrow loss to Northwest Strikers. Went down 3-2 in that game, but played exceptionally well. So they've got good form coming into this game against one of the top 3 teams in the competition. Fairly complete player list today. Casting my eye down the list, I think just Alex Shaw is on the bench through injury. Everyone else seems to be available. For Southeast Sydney, they come in at 11th position on the table, so they've had a very tough season, just 3 points for the season. So one win only and 12 losses last week. Having said that, last week they had a 3-1 loss to University of New South Wales, so against a team running 4th in the competition and expecting a very strong run through into the finals, having just a 3-1 loss to University of New South Wales was a very good outcome for Southeast Sydney. So clearly the fact that they're at the bottom of the table from a points point of view suggests that there's not a lot between them and teams higher on the table, just the results aren't falling their way. I'm sure they'll be keen to put on a good show against Sutherland today. In terms of the team lists for Southeast Sydney, put that up on the screen now. So a couple of players there that we've seen in the PL2 encounter backing up this afternoon in the PL1 match. So they've already had a pretty good run in PL2. Had to work hard there. So it looks like the teams are just now heading off the pitch, so having completed their warm-up. It's been a frustrating season at times for Sutherland. They've had some very good results during the course of the season, but in the last few weeks, particularly I think the game against Manly that they lost, pretty crucial to, it's a situation where it's pretty crucial to their semi-final prospects, so has been a little bit frustrating. Sometimes the form not quite so consistent. But John Cowan as coach will certainly be looking forward to a positive game and a positive outcome today. I'm sure the players will as well. Last chance to let the home supporters see them play at home for the year. So both teams now heading out onto the pitch, and we'll be away in a minute or so. That rain that might have been forecast a bit earlier, a bit of cloud in the sky, but doesn't really look like we're going to see any rain this afternoon. In fact, we've got a little burst of sunshine just coming through. So South East Sydney running right to left in this game. Start with the ball. Marlon Johnson with the ball in the deep in Sutherland's attack. Under pressure there from Wade Tonner. Missed trap there by South East Sydney, allows Sutherland to come away, and through Matthew Bennett looking for Zach Keelan up high, but little twist and he ended up on his back, slipped over, so ball over the back line and back with South East Sydney. Zach Keelan backed into that lifted ball, so the umpire judged that the South East Sydney striker had established his position and Zach needed to stay 5 yards from the ball falling. Wade Tonner with the ball there, finds Riley Nyland through Angus Callanan, and Hayden Neal's just missed that trap and a turnover. Jonathan Chapman winning that ball through Marlon Johnson again. Nick Clark just mistrapped there in the centre, has turned it over to Sutherland, and Zach Keelan now with the ball out wide. He finds Michael Sharkey at the back and back to Mitch Ray. He's gone forward, finds Zach Keelan, so Sutherland holding possession well here, not taking risks with the ball. The pass forward isn't on and they drop it back. Wade Tonner through to Bennett there. Just didn't control that quick pass, so turnover, but some good possession there by Sutherland. Certainly passes, number of passes well into double figures. Blake Hernandez with that ball. Excellent lead out wide and reception by Riley Nyland. Finds the ball with Bennett. Across the circle, the face of the goal. Most strikers would have gone onto their four-stick, but Bennett had the skills to go with his tommer, which created more space in front of the goalkeeper. And Harry Roberts just couldn't control that ball out wide. Kurt Ward with the ball in the centre there. Good control by him out to Ben, Alex Ben. And shot in, saved by Nathan Ackroyd. And through Michael Sharkey and to Zach Killen. He was looking forward, trying to find free player up there. Couldn't do that, so he's gone back through Mitch Ray, and good pass, quick pass from Ray out to Sharkey, has got the ball onto the open side, so that's good ball possession by Sutherland. Christian Halyard there. Just obstructed, so got the free hit. Really tried to force that ball into the D, didn't have anything on, or a turnover. Alan Johnson on the ball. Matt Cook with that ball through, almost picked up the South East Sydney striker high on the back line. Mitch Ray through Michael Sharkey into Angus Cullinan. Under pressure, gets the ball to Wade Tonner and now Riley Lloyd. So good ball retention by Sutherland here now through Blake Hernandez, and a good lead by Christian Halyard. Just unfortunate not to pick that ball up, but it was a good lateral lead and a well-placed pass by Hernandez. Matt Cook on the ball, good overhead receive by him. Jonathan Chapman now with the pass, and he's transferred that ball very effectively. Marlon Johnson out wide on the right. I think that's Morrison, Daniel Morrison up high. So Sutherland kept that ball out of the circle, got the ball forward to Bennett, and an excellent transfer by him. Finds Halyard. He's looked ahead of him, couldn't find anyone. Just held the ball up. Now with Riley Lloyd. His attempt to pass the ball back through Sharkey just didn't come off. Marlon Johnson intercepted. Now Harry Roberts coming forward. Great pass forward to Halyard. And he drilled that ball, but from a very close angle to the back line. So that was easily dealt with by Johnny Ashby in goals for South East Sydney. Sutherland get the ball from the 25. Michael Sharkey will take the free hit. Angus Cullinan through Ray. Out to Riley Lloyd. His pass back almost picked off again. Just needs to take more care with those passes. Ray now out to Cullinan again on the right. He'll look wide. Hernandez was there, pushed right up high, but Cullinan chose not to use him. Maybe this time, yes, he's gone forward to Hernandez. Good ball forward. Hernandez had received the ball inside the D, but just wasn't close enough to the ball to control it, and it's gone over the back line. So a good penetration by Sutherland there, but just not controlled in the end. Nick Clark with that ball. Sutherland in the centre. Angus Callanan dispossessed in the middle there by Matt Cook. That's a good turnover for South East Sydney. Pretty vital one in that situation. So Cook with it again. And this time Callan has picked the ball off him. So returned the favour. And ball back through Nyland to Ray, and Sutherland go down the left side this time. South East Sydney all back in front of the ball. So they've got the numbers there in defence. At this stage they're doing the running they need to do, and Sutherland, all Sutherland's attacking players marked and under pressure. Question for South East Sydney is how long they are able to keep that sustained marking up. Ball with Zach Keelan out wide. Back to Wade Tonner. Oh, good pass by him. A little bit of deception on that. Found it through to Sharkey. Now with Hayden Neal. And he's forced the penalty corner there. Carried the ball strongly through the top of the D. And a first penalty corner for Sutherland. So we're 7.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Scores still at 0-0, and a first penalty corner for Sutherland. Harry Roberts injecting. Got two batteries for Sutherland. Blake Hernandez on the second battery, and Christian Halyard from the top. Sutherland have had success through both these strikers. Ball's with Hernandez, and didn't get right on that ball. Went forward, shot didn't have a lot of oomph on it, and Johnny Ashby in goal was able to deflect it over the back line. Tonner with that ball into the D, just out of reach of Harry Roberts, and over the back line. Marlon Johnson on the ball. Toby Jennings dispossessed in the centre there. Riley Nyland now with the ball, looking to try and find Riley Lloyd. And the South East Sydney defence was able to repel that attack. Sutherland back in possession on their halfway. We'll try and move the ball side to side and find an open space to go forward. That was a bit of a poor quality pass forward there by Tonner, bouncing and difficult for Neal to receive. Sean Comley with the ball to South East Sydney. Come wide to Tom Harden. With Comley again. Intercepted there by Zach Keelan and through Sharkey. He's found an overlapping Riley Lloyd and out wide to Harry Roberts. This is where Sutherland need to get someone high. That ball deflected in and up off the South East Sydney defender. Riley Lloyd tried to get on the end of it, but in the end couldn't reach it. So Hayden Neal through to Blake Hernandez. No Sutherland players in front of him are available, so he's gone back into the centre. Mitch Ray with the ball now. He's found Lloyd high, deflected the ball onto Bennett, and the first time shot from him just wide of the goalkeeper's right post. So a good quick shot by Bennett, but just wide of the goals. Just under 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Still 0-0. That ball landing with two players coming forward onto it, so umpire finds in favour of the defence. Neither player had established a position. Wade Tonner with the free hit, but striker couldn't put their stick on that, so another turnover. Tom Harden now restarts. Comley in the centre. Harry Ben. Ball through, lost there through Ollie Ben and Sutherland back in possession. So they've transferred the ball quickly towards the open side. But three South East Sydney defenders in front of Mitch Ray. So still got those same three players in front of him. Decides to transfer to the left is a better play. Now with Wade Tonner. He's looked wide. The ball fell to Hayden Neal, but he's deflected it up off his stick into his body, and a free hit to South East Sydney. Morrison now with the ball. Drop back through Toby Jennings and Sean Comley out wide, but not controlled out there on the right sideline. So turn over to Sutherland. Wade Tonner restarting.
No, I know, but did you watch the game?
Good possession and control there from South East Sydney under pressure. Work that ball across the field. Matt Cook with the ball. Forward through Ollie Ben, but his pass intercepted by Michael Sharkey and played forward to Harry Roberts. Quick counter-attacking opportunity, but South East Sydney are able to snuff that out. Daniel Morrison on the end of that overhead. Oh, good jink over Mitch Ray, but just too far, and Hernandez was able to cover. Unfortunately, he couldn't get the ball to another blue stick, so South East Sydney back in possession. Tom Harden across to Sean Comley. He's looking up and looking for a long pass, but a lot of Sutherland players in front of him. Hayden Neal, he was looking for a miracle overhead. Didn't come off, almost fell to Harry Roberts, but not the pass Neal intended. Now with Sharkey, distribution from him out wide to Tonner, on to Christian Halyard. Halyard with the cross into the circle, and that appears to have fallen onto Tom Harden's foot. So a penalty corner to Sutherland. And just as that's been awarded, the siren for the end of the first quarter, so Sutherland will have the opportunity to play out this corner. All 11 players coming up to the D. So still 0-0. Sutherland would really be quite keen to finish this quarter with a goal and get themselves in front on the scoreboard. South East Sydney will count it as a win if they can go in at 0-0. Hernandez with the layoff to the right. Ball has fallen to Mitch Ray. That ball across the D should have found Harry Roberts. But somehow the dummy and feint by the goalkeeper meant it missed Roberts' stick and went safely over the back line. So the teams finished the quarter at 0-0. That's a good start for South East Sydney. Sutherland, however, had plenty of ball control and possession and plenty of field position, so good foundations for them for the second quarter. They just need to be patient and make their passes count so that they get more shots on goal in the next quarter. We'll be back in a minute with the start of the second quarter. So teams coming back onto the field for the second quarter of this PL1 game, Sutherland versus South East Sydney. Scores at 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. South East Sydney will be a bit encouraged by that, keeping Sutherland scoreless. Sutherland will need to make sure they don't get, and I'm sure they won't at this stage, it's still early in the game, but they don't want to get frustrated by the scoreboard situation, and to keep up the pressure on the South East Sydney defence. Immediately I can see a little bit more urgency from the strikers in putting pressure on the South East Sydney back three. Riley Nyland there, getting right in front of Jonathan Chapman. Ollie Ben now with the ball. And Ray tapped it over the sideline, so Chapman takes it again. That's a good evasion by him. Hayden Neal picked the ball off him, thought he might have checked his stick, but umpire allowed that to proceed. Free hit to Sutherland. Hernandez on the ball, back to Sharkey. Now with Wade Tonner. Ball forward to Harry Roberts. And he's found Riley Nyland on the back line. And a shot along the back line by Riley Nyland was deflected off Tom Harden's stick right on top of the goalkeeper, gave the goalkeeper Johnny Ashby no chance. So a first goal to Sutherland. Riley Nyland gets Sutherland on the board. Chapman again, carrying that ball forward. Beats Blake Hernandez. With the free hit on the near the sideline. Very ambitious pass forward there from Sean Comley, intercepted by Riley Nyland. Hernandez, crossfield to Wade Tonner. He's looked forward, found Hayden Neal. Back through Tonner and Mitch Ray. Sutherland spreading the ball a little bit quicker now. Blake Hernandez carrying it forward into the D, but not really to a blue stick. Fortunately, it's fallen again to Callanan. He carries the ball forward. Then Sharkey had the ball on his stick, but just bounced away, and South East Sydney have the penalty. That's a good turnover from Sutherland between Nyland and Callanan. They've won that ball back. Now Zach Keelan out left. Terrific pass from him across the top of the D, looking for Riley Nyland. Unfortunately just behind him, but that was a terrific change of entry position just outside the D. That would be very difficult for the defence to deal with. That overhead landing into contested situation, so again the umpire goes with the defence. Umpire's decision goes with the defence, and Mitch Ray gets the free hit. Sutherland working it across their back line. Mistrap there by Callanan in midfield. Comes forward through Kurt Ward. Ollie Ben was up high there, and now he's got it on his stick. And got that ball through to striker on the back line, but the umpire had already called, I think that was Jonathan Chapman, the umpire had already blown the penalty corner. Quick apology from the umpire there. Perhaps in hindsight might have played a bit more advantage. In any case, a penalty corner to South East Sydney. So let's see what they can conjure at the top of the D. Looks like Harry Ben is lining up for the drag flick. Had a few opportunities in the PL2 game, but couldn't get it between the goalposts. And Blake Hernandez is broken, so he heads up to the halfway line, and Sutherland have one less defender to deal with this penalty corner. So Ben didn't get the ball onto his stick well there, and although he got the drag flick between the goalposts, it was on the ground and at a pretty pedestrian pace and easily dealt with by Nathan Ackroyd. Just didn't get his stick correctly behind the ball. Marlon Johnson carrying the ball forward. Carried it into the circle. That's excellent penetration by him. Super play by Marlon Johnson. Carrying that ball through at least a couple of Sutherland defenders. And South East Sydney get the equaliser. Scores back level at 1-1. Blake Hernandez there through to Harry Roberts. Good turn by him. Outpaces Harry Ben. Sorry, Alex Ben. So the umpires found a penalty corner there. I think the South East Sydney defence not behaving themselves when the first whistle blew. So another penalty corner for Sutherland, and a chance for a quick response to that goal by South East Sydney. Again, Sutherland have the two batteries at the top. So Roberts with the ball from the back line. South East Sydney just taking a bit of time to prepare. So the defenders. So set to go. It's with Halyard. Gone to the top right-hand corner. Goalkeeper read that, and Johnny Ashby neatly covered that ball onto the top right. So Sutherland from the 25. Now Zach Keelan with the ball. His pass to the right finds Hernandez. He finds Nyland in turn. Marlon Johnson cut out that ball, but at the cost of putting it over the back line. That was a blind pass by Halyard, but he would argue there should have been a striker there for that ball. Put it through, essentially through the penalty spot, 7 yards out. South East Sydney come forward via the overhead, but results in an immediate turnover. And Wade Tonner stretches the ball across to the right-hand side. Good pass there from Halyard, deflection. Almost picked up Zach Keelan. Wasn't far off. Toby Jennings with the ball now. Back to Sean Comley. He's gone wide, and you can see a lot more urgency here in the Sutherland strikers, putting pressure on the South East Sydney back three, not allowing them time with the ball, trying to force a mistake in their pass and a turnover. Angus Cullinan with a good receive in the centre there. Plays the ball through to Sharkey. Back to Cullinan, but that ball slightly behind Cullinan as he was running across the field, so he couldn't control. That was a poor pass by Tonner. Easily intercepted by Ollie Ben. He's looking for his brother down this left-hand sideline, but unfortunately the ball just a little bit far in front. So Hernandez restarts and switches the ball to the left. Hayden Neal that time looks infield, and this time a little bit too far in front of Callanan. Riley Lloyd comes away with that one. Good turnover at the top of the D. Halyard really had no one in front of him there, but retained the ball through a penalty. Hernandez back to Sharkey. Looks forward, has Roberts leading, but they keep the ball in the back three. Let the midfield cycle a bit more. Mitch Ray looking forward. Good ball forward to Hernandez, who's got high. Trying to work the ball in along the back line, but Alex Ben defended well there. Excellent pass in from Bennett onto Roberts. Roberts now got two on him. He's got to retain the ball here. Looking for a ball under a foot. Ball has fallen to Halyard, and an opportunistic Toma has gone into the goalkeeper's top right. That was a pretty sharp shot by Christian Halyard, and Sutherland have their lead back. Now 2-1 up. That was good work by Harry Roberts there after the first pass from Bennett. And this time Halyard has found Bennett in the centre, and now Callinan's lining up for a shot. Good shot by him, but descended, I think, by Sean Comley and over the back line. So Sutherland putting the pressure on now. That's pretty concerted pressure on the goals over the last couple of minutes. Another blind pass into the circle from Halyard. Again, has not gone near a Sutherland stick. Cullinan with the turnover there. Roberts now. He's found Neal in the centre. He's deflected the ball onto Alex Ben's foot, so free hit to Sutherland. A lot of pressure here on the D from Sutherland. They'll be looking for another result. Just on 4.5 minutes remaining of this second quarter. Wade Tonner into Halyard. And he found Riley Lloyd, but unfortunately he found Riley Lloyd on the wrong side of the back line. So the 16 goes to Southeast Sydney. And they'll get the chance to come away. Sean Comley initially shapes for the overhead, but then goes wide to the right. And another turnover to Sutherland in the midfield. Well, that was not good control by Riley Lloyd. He had the ball on his stick and just popped it forward into space. Tom Blythe with the ball there, and then through Harry Ben. So Southeast Sydney trying to work the ball down the right sideline. They seem to have survived that short sort of 2-minute burst of circle pressure from Sutherland. Now trying to hold the ball out wide and deny Sutherland possession. Wade Tonner with the pass back to Mitch Ray through Hernandez. Good ball into the centre to find Halyard. He attempts a one-time pass and turn, but in the end just lost the ball. Toby Jennings with that ball forward. Off Sutherland, so Southeast Sydney keep possession. Ollie Ben now. Into Matt Cook. And out to the right. Another turnover. Again, Zach Keelan picking that ball up. Now Sutherland have quickly transferred it to Hayden Neal on the right, and he's looked way too ambitiously trying to find Matt Bennett, but at that 45-degree angle, that was never on. However, another chance falls to Bennett, and his ball across the face of the goal is just in front of the goal, and also just eludes both Halyard and Harry Roberts. So Bennett disappointed with that. Clear opportunity for a deflection on the far post. Under 2 minutes now of the first half remaining.
Did you watch?
Long overhead there from Nick Clark. Almost found Matt Cook in the D. It was a good opportunity, but Cook couldn't trap the bouncing overhead. So over the back line and ball back again with Sutherland. Keelan brings it forward down the left sideline. Halyard now. He's racing keeps control of the ball. And had Bennett unattended in front of the goalkeeper, but a good interception there by South East Sydney in defence. Zach Keelan now with the ball. Goes back through Cullinan and Ray. They'll look to push right again, find some open space out here. Bennett's there. Good receive by him, but ball did bounce off his stick, so over the back line. Halyard now with the ball. Another blind pass. That's the third one from Halyard into space. No one there. Really needs to be a little bit more patient with the ball. Make sure he spots where his pass is going. Sean Comley with the relieving overhead. From Alex Ben to Ollie Ben. Ollie Ben now with the ball. Back to Alex Ben. Alan Johnson. Alex Ben carrying it forward. That's good play by him. That was a very dangerous and effective pass through to Kurt Ward. Found him close to the back line. But Ward couldn't trap. Ball over the back line, and there's the siren for the end of the first half. Sutherland have a narrow 2-1 lead. They've certainly had the bulk of possession and field position, so lots of opportunities coming forward from the midfield for Sutherland. Perhaps just not enough care taken with the final passes into the D, and therefore not enough quality shots on goal, forcing saves from Johnny Ashby. They'll look to do a better job of converting those opportunities in the second half, I'm sure. So teams in for the break. We'll be back in 3 or 4 minutes with the start of the second half in this Sutherland versus South East Sydney PL1 game. Sutherland leading 2-1 at the break.
Next, he's going to tell me that he's DJing and that he has to go every weekend to go and DJ somewhere. Yeah, no, he actually does have a couple of sus shirts that would probably take a bit less.
We're back with the second half of Sutherland versus South East Sydney PL1. South East Sydney out well in advance of the start, ready to go. So Sutherland running right to left in the second half. Running into the sun so long as it lasts. But there is a bit of sun at the start of this second half. Blake Hernandez Putting the ball forward to Riley Lloyd. He's going to try and carry it along the back line. Matt Cook had other ideas and successfully defended on the back line. Callanan now with the ball. Fairly sloppy pass to the open side there was easily picked off. Now Wade Tonner. Rebuild through Sharkey and to Hernandez up high. It's good to see Hernandez pushing high as the right defender. Doesn't typically attract attention from the opposition defenders. Can frequently be the man over, an overlapping right defender. So good to see Hernandez pushing high. A little bit of unsettled activity in the defence. Bennett trying to calm things down there. They need to get players sent off at this late stage of the season. Callanan through to Tonner. He's come inside the circle. Ball across the face of the goal. Bennett on the right post on his stomach. Somehow managed to get the ball over the crossbar. So Bennett will be frustrated by that. He's put a few balls across the face of the goal himself in this game and been frustrated by lack of conversion on the opposite post, and that time it was his miss. Sutherland just mopping up in defence there. Good pass in from Riley Lloyd to Callanan, found him in space. Goes back through Sharkey and Tonner. Good ball forward to Harry Roberts, and he's carried the ball into the D. Well, that was Alex Ben who successfully defended there. Actually, it was a fairly simple flat stick tackle. Roberts needed a little jink on that ball. Hernandez now through to Riley Lloyd. Crosses the ball in, but Ashby deals with it pretty simply. Now Sharkey. So Sutherland working the ball across the field. Tonner across to Hernandez. He'll try and go in for the right-hand side. That ball caught the foot of Nick Clark. Sorry, Matt Cook. Zach Keelan with the ball and the left side Tomer, but that was always wide of the goalkeeper's right post. So turnover now to South East Sydney, and they'll settle and try and work this ball out of defence. So some concerted pressure there from Sutherland, working the ball from side to side, trying to find quality entry into the circle. South East Sydney defending with all 11 players. I think we'll see a lot more of that in this second half. South East Sydney still very much in this game at 2-1. They're only one counter-attacking goal behind being on level terms, so still very much in the game. Sutherland don't want that situation to continue much longer. And I'll put this one beyond doubt. Mitch Ray this time coming forward. Ball into Bennett. He was looking forward to Roberts, but Matt Cook was in the way and carried the ball outside the circle safely. Now with Sharkey, across to Mitch Ray. Through Tonner. Now with Riley Lloyd. Closely attended by Alex Ben. Callanan with a shot. Rebound to Harry Roberts. And with just 1 yard out, Roberts, he was outstretched but just couldn't get the ball inside the post. So unfortunate there. Roberts would have liked to have put that rebound away. They have the opportunities from very close range that you want to be able to take. So South East Sydney, you feel, just hanging on. Tom Harden didn't control that ball over the sideline. Riley Lloyd starts again, and Riley Nyland down the sideline again. So the umpire definitely did not like that tackle by Nick Clark. I think he's given him a card as well. That tackle on Riley Nyland. And the umpire has awarded a penalty stroke to Sutherland. Christian Halyard up to take the stroke. And Nick Clark is off for a rest. Very well executed by Halyard into the goalkeeper's right side. And Sutherland now have a lead 3-1. Ollie Ben carrying the ball forward for South East Sydney here. Good tackle from Tonner, just pushes the ball over the sideline, so Ben is going to... He's pinned at the back there, so I want to keep him there. And in the end, they force the turnover and carry the ball outside the 25. Halyard on the stick under pressure from Harry Ben. He's retained possession there through a penalty. Sharkey takes the free hit through Hernandez. Trying to find Bennett but misdirected. In the end, Hayden Neal was able to pick up the loose ball. Riley Lloyd back to Callanan, then through Sharkey again. Tonner out wide, ball into the centre, cleared by Johnny Ashby. And through a little bit of confusion, free hit, although not the umpire's confusion, free hit to South East Sydney. Matt Cook robbed of the ball there. Hayden Neal into Halyard. Shot on goals. Saved. Rebound fell to Riley Nyland but didn't trap. So now Riley Lloyd trying to manufacture an outcome in the D. In the end, he wasn't able to. So South East Sydney come away with the free hit. Sean Comley, Hayden Neal picking that one up, finds Angus Callanan, and his again Halyard with another. Well, he made the pass, but there was no Sutherland player within QE of that, so he was passing where he thought someone should have been, not where someone was. Good back tackling there by Bennett. Unfortunately, the ball's gone over the sideline, so South East Sydney back in control, and a pass forward to Harry Ben. Wade Tonner has conceded the penalty, so Ben with a free hit. That's good defensive work by Angus Callanan, putting pressure on. Good work by Kurt Ward there. Almost got himself into the D with the ball under control. Riley Nyland coming forward now. Sort of ran underneath Nick Clark there, so penalty to Sutherland, but nothing Nick Clark could do about that. He held his line and Nyland just ran underneath him. Sharkey out wide to Tonner, through to Halyard. Nyland picks that up on the back line, finds Halyard. It's a good pass by him. Now They had a couple of stick checks on him outside the D. So free hit to him. This is where Halyard needs to keep the ball in Sutherland possession. Finds Sharkey, back to Halyard. Into the D, and just in front of a diving Riley Nyland. Sean Comley bringing that ball forward. Kept the ball off two Sutherland attending players. Tom Blythe with the ball now. Kept it under pressure from Zach Keelan, and excellent pass wide. Looking for Harry Ben out wide on the right. Ball was just a couple of yards in front of him and he couldn't reach it, but had it stuck, that would have been Sutherland under real pressure. Sharkey with the ball now, looking for an overhead. Didn't come off, but it still found Harry Roberts, and he's gone forward to Hayden Neal. Excellent pass back to Roberts. Ball on his stick and into the goal. Terrific combination there between Hayden Neal and Harry Roberts. Both players positioning themselves well, and it just shows that with good positioning and a couple of well-placed passes, the goal looks quite easy. So on his 21st birthday, Harry Roberts gets his goal. Harry Ben carrying the ball forward now and couldn't beat in the end Hayden Neal. He works with Mitch Ray to get the ball out. Excellent pass by Ray to Sharkey in the centre. He's gone to the right for Zach Keelan. Well, he was looking for Bennett, doing all the right things, just had his pass intercepted, so good recovery there by South East Sydney. So Sutherland now have a lead 4-1. 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. Sutherland will be feeling a bit more comfortable with that lead. And to be fair, they've had the bulk of the possession and the opportunities for the game, that's for sure. So I would expect to have a lead, but there's plenty of opportunities they have probably missed. South East Sydney still looking for another goal. That pass into the D by Tom Harden didn't get really any further than Mitch Ray. He read that line quite comfortably. Bennett carries it forward. Halyard now with the ball from the sideline. Good pass into Riley Lloyd in the centre on the 25. He's fast running Callanan out wide. And the umpire definitely unhappy with that attempted tackle by Tom Blythe outside the D and has blown a penalty corner for Sutherland. Sutherland setting up on the battery. Two batteries. Hernandez with another shot on goal. He certainly got behind that ball, so that was travelling at a decent pace, but Johnny Ashby in goals was able to get his left foot to it. Unfortunately, in doing so, he's lifted the ball dangerously in the D, so another penalty corner to Sutherland. This one to Halyard, cross to left to Hernandez, who was looking for a runner on the right post, but that was intercepted by South East Sydney and they come forward in counter-attack. Jonathan Chapman was intended to be on the end of that, just couldn't control the ball on the back line, so the counter-attack breaks down for South East Sydney and Sutherland back in possession. Roberts now with the ball, looking to manufacture a pass. Tried to pick up Riley Nyland, but Marlon Johnson got in the way, and he brings the ball forward. Morrison across to Ben. Into Toby Jennings. That was a super shot by Toby Jennings. A tomahawk from the top of the D. He was left unattended there at the top of the circle, which is poor marking by Sutherland, but he took full advantage of that mistake by Sutherland in defence and almost had the ball in the top corner of the net. So missed opportunity there. And at the end of the third quarter, so a good quarter for Sutherland, 2 goals. Halyard with the stroke and Roberts with the field goal. Sutherland lead 4-1 at the end of the third quarter, which positions them well in this game and for the upcoming fourth quarter. For South East Sydney, continuing to work hard for opportunities and just demonstrated right at the death there in the end of the third quarter that given half a chance they'll have a decent shot at goal. So Sutherland will look forward to the fourth quarter and see if they can put a few more in the net. We'll be back in a minute with the final quarter in this PL1 game.
Now, if you're looking for more hockey this evening, don't forget after this stream finishes at 5 p.m, Sydney Hockey are streaming the Ryde versus Moorebank games this evening. PL2 starts at 5 p.m, PL1 starts at 6:30 p.m. Promises to be a great top of the table clash. 6:30 p.m. from Olympic Park. Get over to the Sydney Hockey Facebook page. And tomorrow, we're back at Sutherland. It's the final men's games at Sutherland for the season. We're going to come down and support our lower grade men. So you'll see SL4, who are vying for a finals position tomorrow morning, as well as SL1 and SL2 Sutherland games tomorrow. Live from Sylvania. Back to Craig.
All I can say, Luke, is you're a glutton for punishment, mate. So the team's out on the pitch for the final quarter. There were some suggestions of rain clouds at the start of the last quarter. They seem to have moved on. I can see a bit of rain across Botany Bay, but here at Sylvania it's all clear. I'm pretty sure that based on what I can see above me that we'll have good weather for the rest of this game. So final quarter, last home game for Sutherland for season 2020-2022. Be good to finish with a convincing win and keep themselves in the hunt for a possible semi-final spot for first grade if several things go their way. That's a poor pass by Callan, and he's desperately trying to recover. Looks like he has done that, in fact. He knew his mistake and immediately reacted to that, tried to get the ball back. which in the end he did. So no harm done. Ray carrying the ball forward. Sharkey now looking down the right side, finds Hernandez with a deflection to Riley Nyland running out wide. He needs to find a blue stick here, keep this ball moving. Hernandez back through the midfield, Callanan with the ball. It's got Neil up wide, but decides to go back right. Sharkey and Ray, so South East Sydney holding back here. They're leaving Ray with plenty of time and space there, and now Sharkey. So no one in front of him as he comes into the 25. I really think that's not to South East Sydney's advantage. They need to push up on a ball carrier as they're coming into the 25 for sure. Sean Comley with the ball forward. Hernandez had that ball seemingly on his stick, but he missed it. Don't expect that from a cricket player. Ollie Ben with that ball across the face of the goal. Ackroyd let it go past, confident in where his goalposts were. Zach Keelan now finds Harry Roberts. He'll in turn find Mitch, no, the sideline beat Tonner to it. Tom Harden with the ball into the centre. Keelan picks that up, but under pressure, Nick Clark took it off him. Now Bennett with the ball. He'll make sure it stays on the Sutherland stick. So now Sutherland working it back across the defence. Bennett back wide. Ball out to Roberts. Finds Neil with the deflection. I can't really call it a pass. Harry might. Ball across to Tom Harden. He evades Bennett and gets the ball forward, but Morrison has got just Ben in front of him. Ollie Ben, that is, and lots of Sutherland defenders. So South East Sydney really don't have the numbers up to support the ball carrier here. Slowly they're getting there. That's a good crossfield transfer through Marlon Johnson into the D. Ollie Ben was unable to trap, so Sutherland come away with it. Riley Nyland have laid it out to Zach Keelan. Carries forward quickly. Now he's looking to link up. He's got Bennett in front of him. Goes to him. Good pass. Bennett under pressure from Comley. Comley was able to deflect it over the back line. But Bennett appreciated that both Harry Roberts and Riley Nyland had got to the far post for him. Johnny Ashby clearing that one, but off Matt Cook's stick over the back line, and Sutherland get the restart from the 25. Mitch Ray now surveying what's in front of him, decides to go straight to Bennett. Ball came up off Sean Comley's stick, but not dangerous according to the umpire, which I think is a fair call. And South East Sydney now got another free hit, and will try and bring the ball forward out of their 25. Score still 4-1 in Sutherland's favour. No score in this quarter. Tom Harden across to Sean Comley. Back to Harden. He looks down the sideline to Oliver Ben, and he's gone, carried the ball past Tonner. No, Tonner came back at him. He had his brother in front, but just wasn't quick enough to get the ball through to him. Marlon Johnson now with the ball. Through Comley. He's looking straight, trying to find the miracle pass. Ball's fallen to Kurt Ward now with Oliver Ben, and he forces a save from Ackroyd. Matt Cook also had an opportunity in there. Finally, the shot came to Oliver Ben, and he did force a save out of Nathan Ackroyd. Christian Halyard now with the ball, trying to get control of the ball and take his free hit. The umpire has suggested to Christian Halyard he was a little bit over enthusiastic about getting that ball. Should have just... Anyway, Halyard's off for 2 minutes. Keelan now through Riley Lloyd and Tonner. Sharkey looks out, finds Riley Lloyd, who passes on to Hernandez. Just not fast enough for Sutherland to expose a gap there. That was a good deflection in by Hayden Neal. Found Riley Nyland on the deck, just didn't have his feet, so really couldn't do anything with it. Under 10 minutes to go in this game now. Getting a little bit darker out on the pitch. However, no wind and still good conditions for the players. Good tackle there from Hayden Neal. He's come forward quickly. He's got two in support, Riley Nyland, and now Neal takes the shot. And that's to the left side of the goalkeeper. Missed just wide of the goal, so no save required from Johnny Ashby. There was an opportunity where Neal, who had carried the ball forward for 10 or 15 yards, and the goalkeeper pretty much had his line. That's where he needed to find the layoff. Nick Clark getting the better of Harry Roberts there. But Harry comes again, as he often does. So Nick Clark with the ball from sideline. Back to Sean Comley. Out wide. It's Marlon Johnson out there. Looking to Alex Ben. Almost found him with a 50-yard crossfield transfer. That would have been interesting if Ben had been able to get onto the end of that. Harry Roberts receiving the ball in the midfield. Sutherland patiently working the ball up the field. Danny Morrison blasting that ball up the field. So Sutherland have it from the sideline. South East Sydney pushing three of their strikers up over the halfway line. Question here is whether they'll put pressure on any of these Sutherland back three defenders. Good receive there by Halyard, who's got back on the field under pressure. Gets the ball to Keelan. And he just couldn't get past Matt Cook there. But in the end, no, I think it might have actually come off Cook's foot. Anyway, the umpire's blown a penalty corner. First penalty corner of this quarter for Sutherland. I have to say it's not been a good penalty corner display by Sutherland today. But perhaps there is part of the story of the frustrations in their season, just not converting enough, at least at this end of the season, from the penalty corner spot. They did have some successes earlier on, but they're not scoring the goals now when they need to from the penalty corner spot. Nevertheless, they may prove me wrong here. Ball through to Hayden Neal, back to Halyard, and his shot, whilst deflected high, didn't provide any issues for Ashby in goals. Mitch Ray solid there in defence for Sutherland, able to get forward and intercept that long pass. Danny Morrison with the ball now, brings it back in, looks across the field and couldn't get past the outstretched Matthew Bennett. Tonner to Sharkey, he'll look for Bennett down the sideline. That ball genuinely a bit far in front of Bennett. Well, the umpires decided that the South East Sydney player advanced that ball about 10 yards up the sideline, and that was a few yards more than he was entitled to. So a restart from the sideline. Tom Harden there with the ball on the sideline. Halliard in front. Nick Clark now, challenged by Harry Roberts, and Clark gets the free hit. Morrison with an ineffective overhead. Hayden Neal carrying the ball forward, finds Christian Halliard, needs to get this ball on a blue stick. Crossfield overhead intended for Bennett, but Toby Jennings was pretty close on Bennett there, and I think that was rather an ambitious attempt. Bennett needed to be in more space for that to be a credible pass. So Jennings with that free hit. Back to Comey, just over 4 minutes remaining of this quarter. Harry Ben back to Morrison and down the sideline to Oliver Ben. But Wade Tonner was on top of that one and brings the ball away, finds Halliard out to the left. Halliard now carrying the ball forward under close attention of Harry Ben. His cross into the D, looking for Riley Lloyd. Wasn't exactly well directed, but Toby Jennings couldn't control the intercept. And it fell onto his foot, and a penalty corner again for Sutherland. So 3.5 minutes to go. Sutherland in a conference at the top of the D, trying to determine what their penalty corner option will be. So Roberts with the injection. Same two batteries at the top. Halliard with the flick, and Bennett raises his arm saying finally. So Halliard with the conversion, and Sutherland have their 5th goal. Very well executed by Christian Halliard. He dragged that ball to the goalkeeper's right, and the goalkeeper wasn't anywhere near saving that one, and it rattled into the bottom right-hand corner. That's a fairly quick response by Sutherland. Bennett scoring that goal. Obviously deciding that another penalty corner wasn't required and just took the shot, and that one was in the back of the net before Johnny Ashby had got himself in line. So 2 quick goals to Sutherland makes for a much more convincing 6-1 scoreline, and just under 2 minutes to go. Zach Keelan trying to get that little overhead back to Angus Callanan, but it was intercepted by Oliver Ben. He's carrying the ball forward. Hayden Neal troubling him, and did enough to force a loss of control. So we're now coming forward. Game really opening up. Bennett with the ball forward to Riley Nyland. He finds Halliard. He twists into the D, but lost control of the ball there, and Alex Ben comes away with it. Kurt Ward with the ball on the top of the D there, but under the attention of multiple Sutherland defenders, turned it over. Riley Nyland with the somewhat risky crossfield transfer, but picked up by Michael Sharkey. And then deflected over the sideline. So Sutherland retained possession from the sideline. Bennett throws the ball forward and just into the hit and hope stage with 30 seconds to go. This is where Nathan Ackroyd will appreciate no stuff-ups in defence. So 20 seconds to go. Ball with Nick Clark into the D. And a good shot there from Ollie Ben on goal forces the save from Nathan Ackroyd. He'll be very frustrated with that after a fairly relaxed afternoon. He's in the final few seconds of the game having to make a goal line save. And South East Sydney have a penalty corner to finish the game. So a final opportunity for them to double their score for the afternoon. Whilst that's going on, Bennett's come across to the sideline to thank the supporters. Good running by Hernandez. However, ball fell onto his feet, so another penalty corner. Sutherland just want to play this one out and get the ball out of the D. So Toby Jennings on the trap and Marlon Johnson preparing for the drag flick. Every South East Sydney player bar the goalkeeper on the D. And Ackroyd's made the initial save, but the rebound has fallen to, I think that was Ollie Ben. In any case, South East Sydney have scored their second goal of the game. And they finish, and the game finishes with victory to Sutherland 6-2, which is a result that Sutherland wanted, needed, and would have expected from this game. For South East Sydney, probably a well-fought game by them. They tried hard all game, just didn't have the pressure on Sutherland's midfield and defence to give themselves enough opportunities going forward. Nevertheless, a good final game by Sutherland to end their home games for the season, and they'll just have to wait and see how the results from other teams and games go through this round and next. Next week, Sutherland play their final game of the minor rounds against Moorebank Liverpool at Moorebank. Typically that's a cracking game, so anyone that's got the time and opportunity, get out to Moorebank and see that final game of the season. Doesn't really matter where the two teams are on the table, that's always an exciting game. So that's it for this afternoon. Just to recap on the scores, Sutherland winning third grade against South East Sydney 5-1, 10-0 in second grade, so really good outcome for second grade, and in first grade 6-2 to Sutherland. So that's it from myself, Craig Turner, and Luke Domro and Anna Domro on the cameras and video production. Bye for now.